Okay, YouTube, it's time to make another video, so let's do it now. Alright, today's the day. I've made two videos already, and both of them have been talking about, hey, I created this channel so that I could show you guys my investing, and 30 minutes later, we have no video on investing and no sign of any type of Bitcoin activity. So I apologize for that. So you probably want me to shut up and just start showing the details. So that's what we're going to do today. We're getting started. I had to kind of set the foundation a little bit, right? Okay, so the first platform we're going to be looking at is BitConnect. If you're finding this channel, you may have already heard about it. Um, it's a lending platform, and let me see. Before I pull it up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show an overview. The reason I'm doing this is because if I pull the account up, people immediately, your first thing your eyes are going to do is run to the numbers and look at the user interface. So let's discuss it a little bit before I pull it up. BitConnect, the way it works is it's an investment platform. It only takes Bitcoin, right? So you have to give them Bitcoin, and then that opens up a couple of different options for investment. Now, for our purposes, we're only going to be venturing into right now the lending portion of it. Okay, there's staking and there's a few other opportunities within the site, but for our purposes, we're going to be just be using the lending platform. All right, so the way that works is you give them money, a minimum of $100. They convert that into their in-house token, and that token you then can lend to their trading robot who trades the market, arbitrage trading, up and down, whatever their algorithm is. They do trading on the unit with the money that you give them through a token, and then they pay you a percentage of the profit every day. So there's an interest rate. Some days it can be zero. If they lose or don't make any money, it can be zero. And I've seen it since I've been a part of it as high as I think 1.87% in one day, I think. But it's typically around 1% a day. And they pay you back exclusively in USD, in dollars. And now you can convert those into coins or into Bitcoin and then transfer it out if you wanted to or whatever. But we'll look at the platform. So that's the premise behind it. I guess at a future date, maybe I'll do a video on uh, the effects of compounding interest. But for me, the value in this program is to be able to daily compound. The minimum reinvestment is $10, and that's important because there's other programs out there where the minimum investment is higher, which slows down the compounding effect. If they let you reinvest at $10, basically if you have $1,000 in them and you receive 1% return, which would be $10 a day, you could in theory reinvest every day and you could be compounding your money daily. And that's a powerful thing. I'm a trader. I used to be a trader, traded all the time. And you come to learn that that's like one of the most important things in money growth is compounding. If you understand it, it's just absolutely amazing. So without further ado, let's how do you do this? Okay. So, and actually BitConnect's in-house coin is on coin market cap here. They're ranked number 18 with the market value of 585 million, and each coin is worth $274 currently. Okay. All right. So here's my account. Right now you can see now, full disclosure, I think I joined, I guess when we get to the bottom, I can show you what date I joined. I don't remember. It's been about a week and a half, I think. I decided to do these videos after I started this process. I actually joined usi-tech maybe a little over a month ago, and my next video is going to be about my account with them, and we're going to follow that one as well. And then I'm going to do videos for each account as often as I can to track my progress. So the way it works is this is your lending wallet here. So basically, you would put money in your you would basically convert your money into Bitcoin, and then you would click this to receive Bitcoin, and they give you this code, right? And you would take that code to your whatever your online wallet is, whether it's at Coinbase or blockchain.info or Exodus or wherever you have your wallet where you converted your cash into Bitcoin. You would then send that address here for to send the money over that you want to invest in the platform. Okay. And then once it gets here, once it gets here, it sits in here as Bitcoin. All right. Then you can go to an exchange and you can exchange that down here into BitConnect coin. So if I have 0.38 0.038 Bitcoin in my wallet on here, and I can convert that. Like if I just click this all button, that converts it to um, BitConnect coin, and that's basically how that works, right? So I can convert that into BitConnect coin, and then once it's BitConnect coin, you can then loan it to the robot to trade. All right, so let me go back to the dashboard. This could be a little confusing, but once you get it going, it's good. So and once you loan it to the machine, it's the trading bot, it's a loan, and you get paid interest daily. All right, so let's track my progress. Okay, so this was on 10/22. So this is October 22nd. To get started, I transferred $100, which was 0.49 BCC, and at the time, a Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, BCC, which is BitConnect coin, was worth $202 per coin. I mean, right now it's $278. You see, so the value's going up. So I transferred 100, and then the next day I transferred 160. So my willingness when I began was $260 to try it out. Okay, and let me see. And then this shows where I transferred it from Bitcoin into BitConnect, and then whatever. All right, so yeah. So then this shows on the 2nd of November, I transferred $1,050. I moved some money out of another investment fund that I had and put it into this account. Okay. And then these show my reinvestments from the profits that I made. All right. So total, I have $1,410 invested. And I have $410 actively invested, means it's actively in loans. No capital releases, because when you do the loans, and we'll go up and I'll show you the loan process here in a second. When you do the loans, there's time frames on them, just like any other loan, where they mature and you get all your money back. Your capital gets released. So for my $1,050 loan I did, 239 days later, they'll release that back to me, but I'll make a percentage of income on that every day based on the trading bot. Okay, and then it shows the total I've earned in interest. And for the most part, November 2nd is the date that I just put the payment for $1,050 in. So everything else I'd earned came off the original $260 that I deposited back in October. So we're still well under a month. Okay, so when you go to Lend BitConnect here, you have a couple of options, right? So if you lend $100 to $1,000, you get your capital back after 299 days, and you basically get whatever the trading bot is able to pay out per day. That's what you get. Okay. If you lend $1,000 to $5,000, you get what the trading bot makes per day, which we'll show you when we click on these in a second. Plus, you get a guaranteed, basically a preferred rate of interest of 0.1%. So you get 0.1% in interest guaranteed, and the capital release is sooner. It's 239 days, right? So my loan for $1,050 falls under this scenario. I'm getting a guaranteed 0.1% per day, plus my money is going to release 60 days earlier. And if you do a loan for $5,000 to $10,000, you get same thing. The volatility software, whatever the daily rate is, but you get a guaranteed 0.2, and the capital release date is again sooner. And then same thing with 10,000 to 100,000. All right, so let's go into what the daily interest rates are. Okay, so here are the last 5 days. It actually shows the current day, the pending amount, which will be paid out tomorrow. And here are the last 5 days. So yesterday was a good day, because this was made yesterday and it will be applied tomorrow. All right, so 1.47 Today's payout is 0.84%. Day before was 1.57. And you look here on the 7th, we didn't make anything. They must have either lost money or just made zero, so they couldn't pay out anything. 0.97% and 0.87%. These are the daily returns. So this right here shows the average. So like for example, the last 7 days, the average is 1.01. The last 30 days, the average is 0.92. And the last 6 months, it's 0.96. So you can see it floats around, excuse me, it floats around 1%, which is pretty good. Who am I kidding? That's phenomenal. If you can make a daily interest rate and compound your money at 1%, it's mind-boggling what that can turn into if you're consistent with it, right? So, and as a matter of fact, so we can do this. Like, so let's based on the last 6 months average. Let's say you put $10,000 in a 30-day time period. You'll be looking at a profit of $3,480, and that's a 34% ROI. And let's see, a $10,000 loan, I believe, was 120-day maturity. So at the end of 120 days, you're going to get your money back. So if you did a loan with them for $10,000, you would make $13,920 in interest profit if it hit this average. Now, because it's over 10,000, you get the 0.2 guaranteed on top, right? So that helps it out a lot. But over 120 days, you would have made $13,920. Plus, you get your $10,000 back at the end. So in a 4-month period, you're looking at, $23,920 return on a $10,000 investment. A lot of people are saying, how in the world can you afford to pay those rates? And I mean, it's a valid question. As a person that's been a trader and I've seen what leverage and daily markets look like, 1% a day is not unfeasible. I wish I would have had it. I wish I would have had that up. Let's look something up real quick. I should have had this prepared, but let me see. Wow, what's Jamie Dimon's company? The largest, JP Morgan trading desk. Give you an example of trading doesn't work a lot for some of us because we're unequipped, right? I mean, take a peek at this. JP Morgan's trading desk lost money on just 2 days in the past 4 years trading markets. If you have a strong algorithm and it's dynamic, because the market changes often, so you have to be able to go in and update your rules and things like that to make it relevant, day to day, week to week, month to month. But if you have substantial income or equity in the market and you have a good trading plan, you can make a lot of money per day. Now, the larger the money you have, the harder it is to move around. So if you have billions of dollars, JP Morgan moves, I believe, $5 or $6 trillion around the market every day. So they may only make 0.25% per day. But daily profits are not uncommon in the institutional level of trading world. Not at all. So I think it's very possible that you could make returns like this daily. And I have other feelings about how BitConnect does it because the magic to their site and their system and the reason I invested lies within them having their own coin. They hold 75% of their coins that were ever made. And at their initial coin offering, they were 50 cents, right? And they are now $278 a coin. I mean, I don't know if you did the math on that. That's over a 500-fold return. You're talking about, and you're talking about millions of dollars from the beginning, multiplied that many times. So, I mean, you're talking about close to $1 billion in an asset of something that they kind of created out of thin air. Plus, they take your money in Bitcoin, but they give you their tokens, which means they're still holding your Bitcoin. My Bitcoin, when I first got into these two trading platforms, usi-tech was last month, and we'll do a video on that one next. When we first got into those trading platforms, I've made 70% in gains in value of my Bitcoin just by holding Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going to the moon right now. And they're doubling down on that. They control the flow of how much of their coins they have, and they control 75% of them and have seen a 500x increase in the value of those. And then they also hold all your Bitcoin, paying you back, and then they're trading it for profit per day. So paying these interest rates, while it seems too good to be true, is possibly feasible. I'm not guaranteeing that, I'm not endorsing it, but it stands to reason that everything could be going fine. There's two really good videos that kind of really dug into this and broke it down. I'm going to put both of them in the description box. One of them's by a guy named Roy Murphy, and he runs a BitConnect YouTube channel, and very impressive stuff. He's like a computer guy, and he's actually hacked into the system and found the actual trading bot and tracked its trades. And he determined that they're paying us roughly 25% of what they make on a daily basis. And he's a 30-year hacker. He was a part of the original Bitcoin development team. So he's a really powerful source, and he seems to be completely convinced of it. And I'm going to link the video in the description box to him. And then I saw another video of somebody else. I don't know their name, but they also did a breakdown on how much they're making versus how much. So it stands to reason that it's possible. But don't ever risk more money than you can afford to lose. And like me, for example, I started with the $260 that I put in, but after I did a little bit more research and I saw how the system was working for me daily, I felt comfortable with the 1,050 that I added to it. And I'm comfortable with losing that if it came down to it. I don't think I will, because if nothing else, because of the infrastructure they've created here, I think if nothing else, it will last a certain amount of time before it would implode. So it's one of those things where Bitcoin is the wild, wild west right now, and it's an emerging market. It's a disruptive technology, and there's going to be billionaires made on the way up that get in on things like this, So I don't know if it's this one, but we're going to try it. It's a good system. It's an ability to make an interest return every day. And you guys don't have to invest. I'll invest, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, there's several other versions of me online, and and those guys have made a ton of money on YouTube, and they've documented their progress. So I decided to do the same thing. I'm going to document my progress, and I'll see how it goes. But this is what it's doing. So I'm sorry I got off base there. So let's go to my transactions so you can see all this real time. So my lending wallet only has $2.29 in it because I did a loan this morning for $10. I have small money here, but I've been impressed with the returns. All right, so let's go down here, and then this is the history of my lending wallet. It's now 4 pages deep. It was just 2 pages deep or 1 page deep maybe a week ago. All right, so here's following everything. I put $100 in, I put 160 in, then I made 0.04%. My first 2 days, it was 0.04 both days. I'm like, man, I thought they said it was around 1%, and I'm making 0.04, so like as soon as I join, it all disappears, right? So, all right, that's that page. All right, let's go back down. So there are 2 different loans, one for 160, one for 100. So here's 0.04 again and 0.04. But then, we got paid 0.6, 96 cents. 0.6 on the $100 loan, 0.6. And then a good day, 1.73 on both loans, 277, 173. So at this point, this all added up to me getting another $10. So it took me, 6 days that I built up enough profit to reinvest at $10. Well, I did this wrong. And instead of clicking reinvest, I clicked new loan, and new loans have to be a minimum of $100. So they only let you reinvest at $10. So I messed up, and that ended up being Bitcoin or BitConnect coin somehow. So I never got a chance to reinvest that money because I messed it up. All right. So then my interest just kept going, 0.91%, got this, and then 0.95 on my 2 loans. And as I was watching that go, so then I reached another point where, I said, you know what? This is going pretty good. I had done a lot of research. I'd seen more videos. I'd heard explanations of how they're able to pay these returns. So I said, I'm gonna throw a little bit more money in there. So on November 2nd, I put $1,050 in. So 1.59 was the interest paid those next 2 days. for those, for the $100 and $160 you see. And then there was my first payback on my $1,050 loan. And that day, if you look at this, the actual payment was 133 for that day, right? But since the loan was over $1,000, you get the zero point 0.1 buffer or preferred rate that you get paid. So I actually got paid 1.43. So I made $15. Okay, so that was there. And then it's just continued on. So then I got made more interest. And then look at this. I was actually able to reinvest $20 because I made $15 on my 1,000 plus the money that I'm making on the other ones. And the time between my reinvestment has gotten shorter and shorter. So then, here this day, I had $2.61 left over after I did the $20 reinvestment. But then that next day when I got paid interest, I made 15 and 2, plus I had this in there still. I was able to reinvest another $20. And then, here we go again. It's going and going and going. I reinvested $10. And here's my dailies, interest being paid, reinvest. And it's really starting to pick up speed. And here's the day that I got zero. Because, these are my reinvestment loans, $10, 0%, $10, 0%, 0, 0, 0. I didn't get anything for any of these. However, on the $1,050 loan, even on a 0% day, I got my 0.10 guaranteed preferred rate paid anyway. So even on a day that the system paid out zero for returns on their trading, I still made $1 on that $1,000 loan. And then the next day we were right back at it, 1.67, $17. And the way this worked out, I actually was able to do a $30 reinvestment. And so this money is compounding. This morning this was this morning at 7:21 a.m., 11:09. I did a $10 reinvestment. So those are all my transactions. And I had $12.22 at the time that I did the $10 reinvestment, which means it left $2.22 in my account. Plus I had, I think it was 7 cents left over from something else. So that's how it works. As the money comes in, you can reinvest it. I don't have to reinvest any of this. I think if I added it all up, I have, I guess it's $1,400 in loans, and it's been averaging a little bit better than 1%. And then you take into account that the majority of my $1,400 I have invested is the $1,050 loan that has the 0.1 preferred rate buffer. So even if the trading robot was returning on average 92 or 0.92 or 0.95% a day, I would still be over 1% for the majority of my account. So if you just do 1% of what I have invested, I should be making about $14 a day. I'm making more than that most of the time because, you see the returns. This would on the 1,050 loan, this would be 0.97. This would be 1.07. This would be 1.67. So it's more than 1% for the most part, even with a 0 day. So my plan is just to continue to reinvest and grow it. There's a certain level where I think I would possibly start to take some money out, but that's far down the horizon. I'm not even thinking about that right now. I just want to see how the process goes and follow it. And if you have any questions or anything or your thoughts, feel free to put it in the comment box and I'll try and get to it. But this is the account, people. This is episode 1 or day 1 of me showing the account. I'm going to try and show this as often as possible. I also have a usi-tech account that I've mentioned several times. We're going to do the same thing with them. I'm going to show you my deposits, what my daily returns have been, and just kind of go from there. This is an excellent opportunity, I believe. Let me show you. I created this chart when I used to trade foreign exchange for myself. This isn't really, it's not made for other people to view it. Really, it's not very pretty. But what this is this kind of gets into how powerful compounding interest and 1% return is. I would always base off 20 trading days because, the markets close on the weekend. BitConnect, by the way, pays 7 days a week. It trades because the Bitcoin is traded daily, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So their trading bot is active 24/7. So they pay on Saturday and Sundays too, which is a huge plus. But if you started with, I don't know, $5,000 and you compound that at 1% a day, I mean that's a return of 989% a year, and you can turn $5,000 into $54,000 in 1 year. And this is just with 20 trading days. So as a trader, this became my goal. And I valued more than anything where I could compound my interest daily. You know, a lot of other investment vehicles are slow. Like I build houses. If you make $40,000 building a house, that's great. But it may have taken you 9 months to do it. And then it's going to be another 7 months before the next one, or 8 months before the next one that you invested that money into to then turn over as well. That compounding is slow. I don't mind a 0.5%, 0.25%, 1% per day, as long as you get the compounding going. That the money that you made, you can immediately invest that money with your original seed money the next day. It's the most. Albert Einstein said that compounding interest was the eighth wonder of the world, and those who understand it will use it, and those who don't will pay it. And I'm paraphrasing, but it's the most powerful thing there is when it comes to money. It's the compounding effect. So to find a vehicle that will allow you to put this compounding into action is it's amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with this program, and this so far so good. So follow me on my journey. I said this video was going to be shorter, and it wasn't. I'm going to get better, people. We're going to get these videos shorter, and I'm going to learn to be quiet. And it'll get quicker as we go, because you'll get to know me better. I won't have to explain everything over and over, and we'll just pull up the account and say, hey, look, this is where we're at for today. I'll address comments in the comment section if we have any, and we'll just go from there. So please subscribe to the channel, and let's get some dialogue going in the comment section talking about this. Share the page if you can. This is what we're doing. I hope you guys stick along for the ride. I feel pretty good about it. I'll do a video maybe eventually about my thoughts on BitConnect as a company and their setup versus usi-tech. Maybe after we do usi-tech review, I'll do a compare of pros and cons against the two, and what concerns me about each one and what I really like about each one. But until then, like and subscribe, and come back and visit me. I'll put a link in the description box for the two videos that I think you should really watch when it comes to maybe digging into how it is that they are able to pay these returns more detailed. It kind of prevents me from having to do those videos, so I'll share those with you. And then I'll also put a link to the BitConnect page that if you want to get involved in something like this, you can use my link, and I'm sure there's some type of referral bonus. I don't even know how the referral program works, but I'm sure there's something that'll bump me up a little bit if you did that, and that'll make my compounding move a little bit quicker. So if you want to join, do that. If you don't, please don't, because let me be the guinea pig and just watch, and we'll see how it turns out. All right, that's enough of your time. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Be blessed.